Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. On December the 9th, I posted German Chancellor Angela Merkel, typical worthless politician. When I got it back, it had 426 views, 63 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. I want to share some of the viewers' comments. One viewer wrote, "The Holy Quran, or whichever way you want to spell it, is the book by which the Muslims live and are supposed to follow it to the letter." That's important to know and understand. You're supposed to follow it to the letter. Now, if you're supposed to follow it to the letter, how do you have moderates and how do you have extremists? Are the moderates not following it to the letter while the extremists are? Seems to be the case. The Quran also states that women must dress modestly. That is why the French government could ban the burqa or other full-face covering garb. In that wonderful state of Illinois, Muslim women can get their driver's license wearing their full burqa outfits, including their veil. How effing nuts is that, huh? You think Rahm Emanuel has something to do with that, huh? This is why the French government could ban the burqa or other full-face covering garb, because such dress is not in the Quran. This garb Muslim women are forced to wear is done so by Muslim men who are so pathetic and insecure. Islam, a religion for men, controlled by men who worship a pedophile prophet and treat females of any age as possessions the same as they treat camels and goats. Well, they do the same thing to camels and goats as they do to women, huh? How come they don't put veils on their camels or goats? You ever wonder? I guess they're not that insecure with the camels and goats the way they are with their women. I've made numerous videos and I've talked about how Muhammad did what he did by giving men whatever he felt they wanted. It isn't a whole lot different than the Mormon beliefs. Give them as many men as they can afford. Joseph Smith hit on the same thing, pretty much. He followed some of Muhammad's teachings. You don't want to hear it? Don't listen. Another viewer wrote, "She's a communist puppet. I hope German people don't vote for her again." I agree, she is a puppet, but not necessarily a communist puppet. She's a typical East German politician. You should send her some advice in German, Gabe. Ich kann auch sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch. Du weißt, was ich meint, huh? Burqa is already banned in part of Switzerland I live in. The rest of the country will follow. Why is it just in part, huh? Will you go by townships? Unfortunately, German people, or at least 59% of them at last count, support the Muslim refugee campaign wholeheartedly. I don't know what happened to the Germans. Maybe getting clobbered in 2 world wars has been too much. Well, I think they feel that they've been abused, they've been wronged, and they support the underdog. I don't know. Maybe we need some psychologists to step in with their comments. I'm just speculating, but do you see the Don losing next week to Hillary after the electoral vote? What I mean to say is that is all contrived by the PTB to push their agenda through, perhaps stirring up a civil war, etc. I'm serious now. Something is off here and doesn't smell right. Do you concur? Thoughts, please. Thank you. Well, anything is possible. I think the final vote takes place on the 19th of December. And we know that the Democrats are sore losers. We also have heard from some electorals that they've been threatened with death. We'll see. I think with all the good that's come out of what Donald's already done, with all the jobs he's already saved, with many of the decisions that he's made as far as his Secretary of Defense and a few others, some I disagree with. I think he made a mistake with Reince Priebus. Reince wasn't supportive of Donald. Made a mistake with Nikki Haley. She wasn't supportive of Donald. But then again, he might have chosen her for a no big deal position, UN ambassador, to get her out of being the governor. We'll see. We'll see. Personally, I think that Angela Merkel has done irreparable damage to Germany by opening the gates to these Muslims. Many of them have committed horrendous crimes, not only in Germany, not only in Europe, but right here in America. I want to thank the viewers for commenting. You sort of know what I think. Now you know what they think. Thanks for listening.